Hilditch will wait for Alex Russell to come on. And Russell will take the shot on the move. Varela making the save. And a ground ball in traffic for France to try to come up with a clear. Gabriel Fardin. And they deal it back for Christophe. And France has gotten settled in defensively. Now Rosenberg. And Rosenberg unable to turn the corner. That's a good angle taken by Drew Bickerton.
Yeah, it certainly was. They're being very aggressive on the riding so far, England. It must be something they've picked up in the scout report on an area to really target. So there you get another possession here.
Collins to Cage. Varela is up to the task again on the bouncer to the stick side. Varela slides out, cannot cover. Got a crease violation against Collins of England. So England is getting quality shots. Varela has been up to it. 6.5 left, opening quarter. Geller. And now France on this end. Only a couple of contested shots so far and a turnover. As Rosenberg is going to be called for a ward-off. So France with another unforced turnover, and Baxter over the top for Nick DiCaprio. Now lives in London, did grad school at the University of Manchester. After playing at the University of Michigan, a very good player. Otherwise, this is an entirely homegrown team for England. Players that of course, grew up in England or currently live there after picking up work assignments there or attending grad school. The shake to the right and the goal, Tom Roper.
Yeah, they've got some very athletic midfielders, England, and they'll look to exploit dodges up top. Had a few looks so far, but Tom Roper does really well to just shake his defender over the top, get his hands free, and a nice little step down into that bottom corner. Defence have been solid in defence. France have been solid in defence so far, I would say. Obviously, Varela with some big stops, but England looking like they're just starting to find a groove.
Roper played collegiately in the United States in northern New Jersey at Montclair State, a Division III program. He comes up with the tally, the 2 seed with the lead over the 7, France, with under 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Top 7 teams make it into the World Championship via an automatic qualifier. So the winner of this game will then be 1 win away anywhere, even in the loser's bracket of the 8-team championship bracket. Here of the quarter, or I should say, looking for a semifinal opportunity, they would be guaranteed a spot there. Among those final 4, Menendez back here for Gabriel Fury, who has yet to really get dodging. Remy Giacoto getting an offensive run, 47 in Navy, turned over. And England aggressive here to start as they look over the top. Kata Christophe with the initial breakup. Follow-up for England and Daniel Flisk. England a transition goal to start the game, and then Roper with a face dodge. So as they try to execute 6-on-6 against this French defense, the team defense was very good against Anthony Sakos, who tried to take the game over 2 games ago against Greece. They were able to finish that game off by a goal. And then France against Switzerland yesterday against a very good Swiss attack. A lot of shots, and head coach Dylan Snyder happy with the way they had ball control and led to a lot of shots. But here's a failed clear. Varela trying to get quick and play out Sasson Lawless.
Yeah, there was another big stop from Varela there. Nice little look to the crease from England. Unfortunately, just can't get that pass to go, and England get another opportunity to extend their lead here.
Here's room and time, hands free for Edward Loveland.
Yeah, right on cue, saying they were about to extend the lead, and it's a great little move from behind. He kicked it up to Ed Loveland, who was wide open there for a nice little step down. Good little move from England, and yet again, it looked like they're clicking a little bit more.
And England just playing very fast, even after the rebound, just able to keep their continuity. And for head coach Sam Patterson, the offense, as he's called it, red zone goals. There's great trust in this offense. They look for the hockey assist to be highly unselfish and look for goals in that red zone area, which is basically very close to the crease and not settling for outside shots. So far, they've mainly done that. The Loveland goal, along with Roper's, might say they're on the periphery of the red zone. Pretty good spots, but not quite super close. Varela has turned aside basically everything in the red zone. Roper back on, and his shot is off target, with England having backup. It's a continuous clock in the first 3 quarters until the final 30 seconds, and then continuous until the final 2 minutes of the 4th quarter. We've had 6 one-goal games, including our first overtime game late last night. Off the fake, Blair Pashareva just into the game for the first time. And Pashareva now lives in the UK, but Canadian-born. Great to meet his parents, who are here in Wroclaw, Poland, watching their son. Final 50 seconds to close out the first for England. On the rollback, room and time for another rip. Edward Loveland, the beneficiary of more good draw and dump. 4-0.
Yeah, it was a nice little move from Dan Watson on that back corner. He likes to get in close to his defenders, manages to get his hands just free enough to pass it up, and another fantastic shot from Ed Loveland. He's finding a groove in this game, and England extend their lead just before quarter time.
3 medium-range outside shots for England, and they've been able to separate from France. 4-0. Under 30 seconds left, first quarter, Moreland. And Mackenzie Moreland, who had faced off at Division III Power in Maryland, Salisbury. On the drive, going to the jump shot, but stepping in the crease, Daniel Watson. That turns it over to France with about 13 seconds left. France with Remy Giacoto. And Giacoto ridden hard. Final 4 seconds, perhaps time for Bickerton, who fires. And Varela forced to make one more save. England got an early one, and then located shooters. 4-0 England, the 2 seed, looking to advance into the semifinals. We're back with quarter number 2 from World Lacrosse TV and Lax TV. Start of the second quarter, 4-0, two-seeded England looking to cement their spot in the World Championships in Japan in 2 years. Mackenzie Moreland wins another clean face-off. Winner of this game advances to the semifinal, and a jump shot missed by Drew Bickerton. He found himself wide open, and England's quick offense off the face-off has been impressive when Moreland has had the chance to create it. Winner of this game would be assured of a spot of no worse than 4th. That's why it will be clinching. Loser of this game, or any quarterfinal, still has a chance to get the 7th spot. So at worst, the loser of today's 4 quarterfinals can still end up in the 7 versus 8 game on Saturday, which will be a win and go to Japan game. And the loser will not. They'll go to the still to be determined Division II World Lacrosse Championship, which we don't know where that'll be, location, timing. That is still a new thing. Hilditch. Varela's had a strong start. Move behind. One more extra pass. Hilditch, beautiful offense. Well, England is just operating at a few kilometers ahead of France defensively. William Prescott gets the extra team assist, but it's an overall team goal.
Yeah, I think it speaks testament to the athleticism of these English players. They're just constantly pushing the tempo. As you mentioned before, they like to look for the hockey assist and kick the one more pass. Did that there, and great finish from Hilditch in the end.
And truly a team goal by England. 5-0. Daniel Hilditch, natural lefty. He's one of 6 lefties on this England team. They may have the most out of anybody in this tournament. Something different for head coach Sam Patterson in terms of being able to match up against the top teams. He can bring in different personnel unlike anybody else. Meanwhile, here for France, and Coach Dylan Snyder here for Lucas Menendez. And we'll see if he can initiate a little bit more as he slips down working against Daniel Flisk. This side of the field, at least behind the cage, is said to be in better shape. This pass and out of balance, trying to come up with that is Thomas Dayou-Boost, and it's turned over by France.
Yeah, Menendez really looking like the facilitator early on for this French team. He's got a lot of pace and he can turn well. Just England doing a great job shutting down off-ball players, and he's had to force it to the backside and just gone out of bounds there. Another unfortunate French attack.
France transitions, and England into the attack with the first midfield. Collins with momentum to the cage. Russell swings back for Hilditch. Hilditch gave it up behind for Bickerton. Bickerton against the physical defender, Kata Kristoff. Feed across. Tough grab by William Prescott. Does well not to force. Then on the crash to cage, Alex Russell puts a shoulder into the defender. 6-0 England.
Yeah, Will Prescott did really well to handle that one. He kicked it out to Alex Russell, and he saw his defender not engaging as far out as you normally expect. He just took that lane to the cage, and a great little finish from him. 6-0 the score.
England has come out and looking focused and having the benefit of the day off. The bye into the top 4 always helps. With each passing day, there is attrition that occurs. Players playing hurt and players that are out that are injured. Justin Rosenberg pursuing the ground ball. The chance initially for England, Thomas Hallam. And finally, England will come up with it. Very aggressive and gritty play. 3-on-3, that's been the best face-off battle we've had.
Certainly has. They'll want to start coming out on the better side of it, France, if they are going to get back into this game. But great work from Tom Hallam to just be aggressive right to the end and get the ball for his team.
Russell, feed into the crease and checking having a stick checked out of his hands was 15 Daniel Watson. And France comes up with the turnover. And France has yet to really test William Baxter on the other end. Now here's a chance for Justin Rosenberg to use his speed and look at the crowd, the attention he gathers on the ride. Kata Kristoff. And instead he'll fire over the top for Gabriel Farden. The other aspect that Rosenberg is, I think, does Fraser that England is accounting for, not just, of course, a fantastic athlete to clear the ball, but it's almost instant offense because he is able to maneuver through and run at people full speed. Defenders have to make a choice.
Certainly, when he gets the time to build up speed, he is lethal and he gets a good opportunity there.
Back up from Menendez with Rosenberg getting the shot. That's his first. And that transition game, the speed of Gabriel Fury and Justin Rosenberg, just talking to Switzerland players yesterday, they thought they contained the two of them well, but it was the attack that was able to step up against the Swiss yesterday with patience. Talking to Dylan Snyder about they did get a lot of shots, should have scored more, didn't shoot a great percentage as that shot is blocked and a French player is shaken up after the play.
Yeah, England just did really well to send a double as he's turned there. He's just taking a knock, hopefully nothing too serious as he hobbles off.
That's Gabriel Fury. Trying to transition, Daniel Flisk. Flisk is in midway through the second quarter. In a game that started a few minutes just shy of 10 a.m. local time. 12 games today, 12 tomorrow, 9 more on Friday, and then the final 3 games on Saturday, including the gold medal game, the championship game to be played here in Wroclaw to decide the 7 automatic qualifiers to the 2027 World Championships in Japan. Feed behind from Blair Pashareva. Swung for Roper. 5 different goal scores for England in this first half. Room and time for the rip, and Farrell is able to see that, think through his own man. That was Daniel Watson, one of those 6 lefties. And Rosenberg turns the corner easily with great strides and athleticism. What a joy it is to be around Justin Rosenberg, to talk lacrosse with him. And as a timeout will be taken here by France. 7:19 remaining, 6-0 England. So for France and head coach Dylan Snyder, this is where he is trying to stop the bleeding, and they must get something going here before it is too big of a hill to climb.
Certainly, England's defence has been really compact and worked well as a unit. France will be hoping that they can draw up a play here to things going. They've got some really talented players out there. Rosenberg, Menendez, amongst others. So, coach is just hoping that they'll be able to use this offense and get one on the board.
Yeah, Menendez no shots. Justin Rosenberg just 1. Gabriel Fury just one that was blocked. So the key players for France have not been able to get themselves involved at all as France comes in off of back-to-back 1-goal wins at the buzzer. Lucas Goller 10-9 against Greece in the final game of pool play 3 days ago, and then yesterday they outlasted Switzerland 8-7 in the 7 versus 10 battle. Head coach Dylan Snyder trying to continue to grow France lacrosse. They've gone from 80 official members to over 300 in the last 12 months. Great news is they have named a coach for the women's team. Their first ever women's program launched, Morgan Everett. And Morgan's from the state of Virginia, played briefly at Old Dominion University, and she also works as a teacher, so she's very excited to try to get things started in the right direction to continue the overall growth of the sport in a country that can be very good at it. And they're raising the standards for players to be eligible. You must participate in a French league event, at least one in a 12-month period. Going to the jump shot is Menendez. His first shot, but he did not have backup. He's usually the backup. Baxter instead takes care of it.
Yeah, it's just an unforced error that France can fix quite easily. Menendez you know he's going to drive to goal and try and get a shot. You've just got to fill in behind. But great work from Will Baxter to get that back up. And now Nick DiCaprio's brought it over the halfway line for England.
Out of the France timeout is William Shirt. Loveland will recover. He's the lone multi-goal scorer. Roper shakes free of his man. Delivers back for Bickerton. Loveland trying to work it through. Throw back for William Prescott. And look at England just continue to swing the ball at a pretty good rate. Pretty good speed of play. Pashareva. And the togetherness and the great trust, the unselfishness that Sam Patterson and his staff and Vinnie Carr and company have worked very hard to establish. This is a knockdown and the grab. Daniel Watson recovers the ball just as Kata Kristoff was about to cause a turnover. England will keep it. No shot clock in World Lacrosse yet. On the rebound, it's dunked in. William Prescott the shot, and the crease attackman Blair Pashareva is not going to miss from there. 7-0.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It was a great save from Varela, as you say, off the shot from William Prescott. He'd make a really big sweeping cut across the top that Drew Bickerton found, but as you say, Blair Pashareva there just to pick it up, and he's got the time. No one around him to just put that in the back of the net. Really unfortunate for Varela. He'll be annoyed at that one.
He converts after the initial pretty good shot. Moreland, clean face-off win from Prefontaine. Adrian Prefontaine's taking a big jump to rise up in terms of a higher echelon for France. Moreland showing another interesting part with both the face-off men being left-handers for England. It is Moreland. That'll get some time on offense as Moreland slips down. Walking on this grass, it is definitely not wet, but it might not be perhaps super thick, perhaps for footing here. Fraser, what's your take on, walking on this?
Yeah, I think the heat that they've had in recent weeks is sort of shown. It's very firm underfoot, and then the amount of rain we had yesterday has just made it slippy on the surface. So, as you say, really difficult for studs to take, and we've seen a few people falling over so far in this first half.
So it's dry kind of below the surface,
yeah,
you're saying, and then slick on the top. And that's obviously a difficult combination. Hilditch forced to his right, save made, stick save by Varela moving to his right. And it's one thing to slip, but Fraser, you got to have trust in your feet, don't you, to be able to move. We saw yesterday over on the thin turf field, field one of these Slovakia players played with just regular sneakers and played pretty well. Griffin Schutz, now he's a heck of a player in his own right, as we have a timeout taken by England with 3:15 left first half. First timeout taken by Sam Patterson. I imagine maybe not in this game, but that's one of the things that players have continued, I think, by each passing day, still have not come to a conclusion how to adjust to the different surfaces.
Yeah, of course. It's a weird one. I think if the grass was this firm and it was dry, I'd potentially wear maybe like a turf shoe rather than an actual cleat, because as we say, the studs aren't being there's no give in the ground for the studs to take. But that rain has made things difficult, and interesting that the player chose to wear just normal trainers, because that's slippy at the best of times. So, with some of the rain that has come in over the last couple of days, that's a brave move, but he had a great game from what I saw. So.
Yeah, actually, he first asked mostly a serious question, could I play barefoot? Which, of course, I think I'm sure that would not be allowed. Although the founders of this sport 100 years ago, if they could talk, would say, of course. Well, now they've brought the facility's golf cart out behind the goal, perhaps just to,
yeah,
I don't know, inspect something.
I don't know if they thought it was half time and they were coming out to do a little bit more repair on that patch behind the goal, but they're reversing up slowly so we can get things back underway now.
And they still have 3 minutes, 15 seconds until they go back to doing some surgery on the grass behind this goal to our right. Otherwise, the field seems fine. The face-off X is in good.
Joseph Varela in the goal. It's a great finish and he'll be proud of that one.
Edward Loveland is not necessarily one of the top offensive options for this England team. Certainly a capable midfielder, a two-way midfielder that's always been known for playing with composure, from the Timperley Lacrosse Club, and almost stepped away from lacrosse during COVID lockdown, decided he missed it, and he's been back with 2 feet in. That's a special shot on the run.
Certainly was, and some great work on the face-off yet again from Mackenzie Morland. He does really well to evade the double team and get the ball down for England.
Prescott puts the shoulder in with under 2 minutes left. And England solidifying what is a near-perfect opening half. Their defense has been perhaps just as good, if not better, than their offense. Well, they have allowed maybe just a couple of real scoring chances. Oh, jumping up high to grab that, Alex Russell. He found himself open. Drew Bickerton might apologize for that high pass, but it works out for the goal.
Yeah, I think if there was a defender near him, he wouldn't have thanked him, but he does really well to bring that down. He's got great stick skills, Alex Russell, and it showed there with a fantastic finish mid-air.
Now Russell had to jump up, still be able to land and get the shot off. We have a timeout taken by France.
Interestingly enough, he's called the timeout and then told his players to stay out there. I don't know if it was a substitution that he wanted on or...
I think this is just to preserve as much time as possible in case they get this next possession.
They have won a couple face-offs through Prefontaine. We're hoping for another one here.
Adrian Prefontaine, born in France, but moved to Queen Anne, Virginia. He was living with his family at the NATO base in Virginia, coming from a military family that as a high schooler recruited to play at Division III Virginia Wesleyan. And that's how he found his start to lacrosse. And then his recent significant jump as a face-off man. 9-0 England. And Prefontaine to try to win a clean one against Moreland. Or check that around, here's Daniel Madeley. And we'll get a false start on Madeley. So Madeley's still trying to find his face-off game. And France having spent their second timeout to preserve time here at the end of the second quarter. And they'll go back to, I think, their first midfield, looking to see if Gabriel Fury has come back. And I think number 9, Fury, has not. Louis Arbon, a lefty. Number 6 in Navy, he has come in for the first time, so that could be real trouble for France if number 9, and I see actually Gabriel Fury, looks like he's got his cleats off.
Yeah, I don't know what actually happened to him. Obviously, it was a big double team. Hopefully nothing too serious, and we can see him in the second half, but just trying to get things going here, France.
Arbon. And Louis Arbon shot at Baxter. Probably his most toughest test of this first half. William Baxter the save. Final seconds, and England will end up with a shutout in the first half as the 2 seed in these quarterfinals of the championship bracket over 7-seeded France. Impressive on both ends. A very near complete opening half for England. 9-0 is our score. We'll be back in 10 minutes to bring you more action from the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championship from Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous
here in the solid competition. Face-off win, this time off the wing, handled by Thomas Hallam. And off for Drew Bickerton. Here is a quick shot taken by Daniel Madeley. And this one hits the pipe behind the new goalie of France, and Quentin Richer, which we'll discuss in a second. New goalie on this end, also for England, Simon Bellamy, who is a native Canadian, who lives now in England, but his dad is from Nottingham. That's how he traces his lineage. And England in great shape to advance to a semifinal. The winner of this game will take on Israel tomorrow or Latvia. That's the 3 versus 6 game taking place later. The loser will take on the Israel-Latvia loser 2 tomorrow afternoon. Now the loser of this game is not eliminated from the World Championship. There's a rip. Lucas Menendez on the jump pass from Justin Rosenberg, who drew a slide, a double, and there it is, 9-1.
Yeah, it was a good little pick and pop play there from Menendez. Justin Rosenberg just coming off the top of his pick. And a bit of a breakdown in communication from the English defence. They both played the on-ball guy and left Lucas Menendez for a nice open shot that he stuck very nicely past Simon Bellamy.
On the first shot that Bellamy sees, and we'll see what kind of spirit France will come out here. But a face-off win for Moreland, who has gotten better as this tournament has gone on. And off for Bickerton, who will decide to back it up. And it appears a decision has been made, Frazier, about one of the top players for France in midfielder number 9, Gabriel Fury. He left the game about midway through the second quarter. Appeared like he hurt his foot or twisted his ankle. At some point, he's taken off both of his cleats on the far side. He was visibly frustrated. And that obviously changes France greatly.
Yeah, certainly. It's a big loss for them, but I think they're just looking at the bigger picture. They're going to have a big game tomorrow, and as we say, their big focus will be getting top 7 so they qualify for the World Championships. And if they feel like the battle's lost here, it's better to rest him so that he's fit, ready to go hopefully tomorrow.
That pass for Daniel Watson is away from him. And Fury, who was a real powerful running and dodging midfielder to complement Justin Rosenberg. They have 2 elite dodgers and players at that position. As Remy Jacoto and Louis Arbaud will likely both fill in those minutes of Fury as France tries to be healthy ahead of tomorrow's game, again against the loser of the Israel-Latvia quarterfinal. As Menendez turns back, 9-1 England. On take by Lucas Geller. As Geller slips down, Emile Sasson-Lawless. Tatton defending on ball. Barlow takes a shove. No real argument for France for a potential push. Just a bit of a love tap. Geller attacks the other D-midi. In here, William Shirt. Geller dropping it off, not ready. In a great shooting spot was Sasson-Lawless, and then Menendez's shot is challenged.
Yeah, just an interesting change up here for France. They've had a lot of possession here, and Menendez has stayed in that top spot compared to seeing him behind goal in that first half, and it seems to be working.
Sasson-Lawless forced out of his angle, swung to Geller. Fury, not just a great initiator, 4 goals yesterday and an assist. Who will pick up the slack? Lucas Geller creates the bump and the separation, 9-2.
Yeah, just mentioned, they've been very patient. They've had the ball for a couple minutes there, France, and they're working it well. Multiple looks on that play, and it was Geller just dodging under the short stick D-midi, getting his hands free and sticking it past Simon Bellamy in the bottom corner. It's a good start from this half for France.
France with the first 2. Lucas Geller, a tremendous career at the University of Detroit Mercy. He just finished up his sophomore year there. Native of Torrance, California. And played in 13 career games with a major high school career. with 169 goals, 238 points, playing in California. Daniel Hilditch turns back here for Russell. Edward Loveland. This has been his game, the Loveland game, with 3 goals in the first half. Timothy Collins, as I think he tried to shoot on the turn, and good defending by France as a team. Daniel Watson, he got his hands free. Quentin Richer makes the save. He's younger than Varela. You've faced Quentin Richer in some various tournaments, huh?
Yeah, I had the pleasure of playing with him back last September with the Paddington Bears out in Dalmatia Cup in Croatia. He's a very, very good keeper. He's a tall guy, but he gets down low well, and his passing is fantastic, as we see there. He's definitely a very good backup for France. Good to see him get some minutes.
Jesse Chetodal in for France, back for Jack Snyder, younger brother of head coach Dylan Snyder. Gabriel Fardin turns it over. So a long clear that was in the process for France, but they still give it away. And Drew Bickerton with it. England on the verge of 7 scoreless minutes in this third quarter. But they started with some fireworks, a Bickerton goal off the opening face-off. Stayed 1-0 for several minutes. And then 3 straight perimeter shots, then the rollback from Timothy Collins. There's the first of the quarter, 10-2.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It's all come off that hard ride from England. They got the ball back after a long attacking set and they were ready to go again. Tim Collins just with a nice little individual dodge, rolls back. He's had a few similar looks today, but we'd be glad he's finally got that one in. Great goal.
He played collegiately in the United States at Mount Olive in North Carolina, a Division II program. Same facilities where William Baxter played after growing up in Manchester. As England has steadily started to get players over to the U.S., young players that have picked up a stick younger and younger. As Menendez here, that's been the difference in this recent generation compared to you go back to 2018 in Israel when Sam Patterson last appeared. Now their current head coach, where they had players, but they were more U.S.-born players. Menendez shot had to be kicked out. Well, I don't know if Bellamy got that with the stick or the foot.
I'm not too sure, but either way, he'll be glad that he's kept it out. He's been facing a lot more shots than Will Baxter had to in the first half. France looking a lot sharper. Really working the ball well.
Menendez, as he slips down. Rosenberg, path to goal, can walk in, and is able to finish it. Well, the first missed slide by England, that's the last guy you should fail to slide to. Justin Rosenberg, 10-3.
Yeah, I think it's come on a bit of a breakdown in communication from the England defence, which isn't very, doesn't come very often, but he's just sort of rejected the pick up top, decided to just drive down the alley himself, and he's just been left alone to put it past Simon Bellamy in goal. Great work from Justin Rosenberg all round there.
France has scored 3 of the 4 in the quarter. Face-off win, Madeley. His first of the morning. So that puts a pause to the momentum for France. But still plenty of time left in this third quarter. Can they make this interesting and get within striking distance to open up our final period? This is a quarterfinal game, winner to the semifinals against the winner of the Israel-Latvia game.
Yeah, France have obviously had 2 one-goal wins. We mentioned that earlier, so they obviously fight to the end and they've come out firing in the second half. I'd be interested to know what their coaches had to say, but whatever it is working.
Bickerton took a peek. Swings to Loveland. Loveland forced back. Good defense by Jamie Calloway. Pashareva, and he held on to it too long, took it into traffic. Jesse Chetodal is able to come up with it. Jesse has been part of France since 2014, going back to Denver. He and Paul Lefebvre are tied for the most caps in French lacrosse history. And he is a real pioneer trying to move the needle along for France lacrosse that has been reinvigorated with Dylan Snyder, former captain, and captained the last 2 European championships. Now at the helm, Lester Salmons, also part of the management of the French Lacrosse Federation. They're trying to take it to the next level. Low shot missed. James Barlow got a nice slip pass from Lucas Geller. And France misfiring to try to make it a 6-goal game. So Menendez looks like he has moved to midfield. The dodge from up high. Barlow over the top. Menendez, the rip. And the fine save, Simon Bellamy.
Yeah, it was another well-worked French attack, but Simon Bellamy up to the job there. Fantastic stop and a good outlet pass straight away to get the ball up the other end quite quickly for England.
Best save of the game. And what could have been 2 great looks for France during that possession to try to cut it to 6. Collins with momentum. Swung by Daniel Watson. Roper attacking Sasson Lawless, who remains in there. Now to play D-mid. Taking the shot just on the run, Alex Russell. Richer kicks it out, and the ground ball pops up to Lester Salmons on the push. Lester, though, cannot come up with a clean next pass. And the ground ball recovered again. Russell of England. And well, England's ride here, I don't think we've discussed it enough, Frazier. We'd love to know the clearing percentage of France, but obviously it is not a great number.
Yeah, certainly not. Again, testament to the English players out there for the hustle they're putting in.
Chetodal will come up off the turnover by England.
Got a flag on the field as well, I think for a late hit. Ball goes down and
a 30-second push. This has been a very clean game, we should add.
Yeah, both defences being really disciplined in the way they've been playing. Been aggressive, but equally no big checks and just playing body and using the footwork well. But get one there and we'll get a chance to see France's man upset here.
First man up for France. We talked about as close to a perfect game as England played. No penalties. The quality looks for France was, you can count them on much less than one hand. A rip from Menendez. Bellamy. Well, he has played up to the position.
Certainly has. He's seen a lot of shots in this third quarter. Couple went in early on, but he's made some very big stops in the last few minutes.
Penalty time is up on the 30, and taking the shot, and now a late flag coming out at the end of it. Shot by James Barlow, and heading off with the penalty be Daniel Flisk. That should be a 30.
I think it looked to me like a cross-check, so that'd be a personal.
Yep, it is a 1-minute golden chance for France. 25 seconds left, third quarter, trying to make it a 6-goal game into the fourth.
He may just hold on to this to start with possession in the fourth quarter.
And that would eliminate the Moreland issue. 8 seconds to go. Rosenberg slipped the pass through, and it carried through to Bellamy. Well, if it's caught by Barlow, it's a layup. Rosenberg took a gamble, and instead the fourth quarter will begin with England having possession down a man for about another 35 seconds as we head to the fourth. 10-3 is our score. The 2-seed England leading 7-seeded France 10-3 in our first quarterfinal of the day on the World Lacrosse TV and Lax TV. He just fell on him on a close.
Yeah, I think it's because it was sort of like through his back and quite high, I think. It looked like
on the head too.
Yeah, sort of. And it was after the shot.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, I just give it up. That's a soft ass call for 2 minutes. That's soft as shit. There was a kid. Did you? Tell me. There was a Czech kid that got slashed by whales and his stick broke with blood.
Yeah.
And there was no flag.
Yeah, it was the whale. Yeah. I didn't actually see it, to be fair.
Okay.
I know. Pinky sent me a picture of his stick afterwards, and there was like blood on the top. Yeah.
It was his stick.
Yeah. And there was like blood on the top and shit.
Oh my gosh. Start of the fourth quarter and the first of the 4 quarterfinals to be played today. Israel and Latvia coming up in about an hour. Man down England to start the fourth quarter. They have possession. And we'll see if the ride of France can make an impact.
Yeah, captain Alex Russell on this near side, just talking his team through how they want to play this ride, they want to play this clear, sorry. So he makes a darting run. Bellamy still with the ball.
And Bellamy just can hold it until the penalty is over to Daniel Flisk. So it did end up as a 1 minute. And now England can begin their approach. There's Lukas Sharink. Sat out the Latvia game. England in their 8-3 win, playing without two starting defenders. Flip pass by Nick DiCaprio. He's trying to shove it along for Prescott. Prescott gets it back at the rip. Richer fights it off. Been impressed with Quentin Richer here. As you have said, Fraser, and France is a very good goaltending situation. Swung here for Gabriel Fardin. And we'll get a timeout taken by France just as they get the clear together. So it's still at 10-3. France has had numerous opportunities to get within 10-4 and even late in the fourth quarter to leave some time there. They won the third quarter 3-1. Obviously, maybe England playing a little bit to the scoreboard at 9-0. And perhaps figuring out a way how they can conserve some legs, because now England would have to play, I think the semifinal would be played tomorrow with the day off on Friday for the semifinal winners to play in the gold medal game on Saturday night, just so they're as healthy as possible. So which is understandable in the schedule, but they would have to play a back-to-back today and tomorrow to do that.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the England coaches are saying. Obviously, they've got a 7-goal lead, about 14, just under 14 minutes on the clock. We know they like to push the tempo, but at what point do they take the foot off the gas a little bit and just slow it down and, as you say, just conserve legs? And that being said, they play really attractive lacrosse, so I hope, from a spectator standpoint, that they don't do that and they can create more chances. Likewise with this French team, who have looked very good in this second half. Love to see more chances from them, and who knows, maybe the comeback's on.
Yeah, if they could pick up a couple of 2 more quick ones, and perhaps England may have to play full speed or play hard the rest of this one. And managing legs is so vital wherever you can steal minutes and steal rest for your players can determine championships. So Rosenberg will start off with Thomas Dayubus. Again, Gabriel Fury, 4 goals and an assist yesterday against Switzerland. He alone, Justin Rosenberg, 1 and 1A in terms of scoring threats. He is out for the remainder. Rosenberg shot and right at the chest of Bellamy.
Another big stop there from Simon Bellamy. Just a nice little uncontested clear for England, so he can get the ball at the other end and he'll push it now.
Cameron Major as Bickerton will hold it up and we'll play 6-on-6 for England. 4-0 after 1, 9-0 at the half. Edward Loveland, 3 goals, still to lead England is the story on this end. Mackenzie Moreland faced off at a high rate in the first half. I would anticipate he was probably 7 out of 10. Tim Collins thinking about the shot and then making it Alex Russell.
Yeah, it was a great goal. It was created by Tim Collins there. He's done a little hitch over the top, then rolled back, just popped it down low, and Alex Russell's just stepped in and buried that bottom corner. Great goal for England yet again. They'll extend their lead to 11-3.
2 goals for Russell, and perhaps a brief exhale for England. And they could start to think about tomorrow and watch the Israel-Latvia game. Latvia will be playing at 11:30 a.m. local time, and that occurred after their game had a lightning delay, or our game, Fraser, that you and I were on. That one didn't end until, say, about 8:30,
yeah,
somewhere in there. Then the Wales-Czechia game that went to overtime, what was that, 10 p.m. local time that one ended?
About that, yeah.
Just about.
Both of those games very physical, and there'll be a lot of wear and tear on players' legs today. So
much so that it invoked a 14-hour rule because the Wales-Czechia, I think the Wales-Czechia loser was scheduled to play like in the morning, like at 11:40 or something like that, after that game, which was lightning delayed. That one did not start until about 7:40 local time. Roper. Well, England, if they're going to shoot the ball from the outside or the medium perimeter like this, it's 12-3. They will be difficult to knock out for anybody.
Yeah, certainly. It was a nice little hitch over the top to Tom Roper, and he just got his hands free, buried it in that top corner. That's what he can do. His second of the game.
And England showing a full arsenal. They've been able to manipulate the crease. At least early on, they did not get finishes. But they continue to move the ball extremely consistently today. And they've got back-to-back goals to open up the fourth quarter to create some final separation. Moreland with another face-off win. With under 10 minutes to go in this first quarterfinal, France will also bring in Paul Lefay at short stick D-midi. Talk about his veteran leadership, 22 in Navy. To go along with Gabriel Fardin.
Good move from Alex Russell. Just look to move it on now.
Loveland moves it along, and England in no rush. They have just played tremendous team offense today. I look up and down my score sheet. Out of the 12, really about 8 of them assisted goals, maybe 7 assisted goals. Watson on the drive, has to be fought off by Richer. Daniel Watson, the shot, driving right and taking it with his left. And Drew Bickerton with backup with under 9 minutes to go. England having committed just 2 penalties in the game. Watson with a rip. Bit of a no-look from Bickerton, who has impressed me with his multifaceted abilities as an attackman. 13-3.
Certainly, he's got the vision from behind, Drew Bickerton, and some good crease play. Dan Watson, part of the England box squad, so he's got very good handles in those tight spaces, does well to take it, just drops his hands and rolls it past Quentin Richer there. Fantastic worked goal between the two Mellor boys.
1-1 for Watson. Bickerton also with 1-1. And the balance continuing, asking Sam Patterson ahead of this tournament what he felt his depth would be. Our depth, probably the deepest team England has ever had. It's one that has played together the most. William Shirt ahead. They've got, he thought, a great chemistry about it where everybody's homegrown and playing for one another. He had tough decisions to make for the cutdowns. Again, they dropped the roster max limitations from 23 players to 22 as that shot on the move goes wide by William Shirt. And he still wants to see grit from his guys because eventually they're going to run into a tight game, and the Latvia game was that. Latvia was tough and physical with England. Ryan Richter's was outstanding for Latvia. I would love to be able to vote for a goalie of the tournament, Fraser. Maybe we can petition some folks for that kind of thing if we still have the energy for that, as William Shirt will go to low to high.
Certainly, it's been some very good displays from keepers so far, and as you say, Richter for Latvia is definitely towards the top end of that list. Phenomenal throughout.
Maybe on Sunday in our group chat, all the broadcasters, we can come up with something unofficial. William Shirt thrown open on the cut. William Prescott as Shirt cut through the middle. And that was easy.
Yeah, I think the legs of the French defenders are just getting a little bit tired. They're not picking up cutters as well as they have been in, earlier on in the game. You know, he's just cut with pace, Will Shirt. And a great little feed inside from Prescott. It's a fantastic goal for England yet again.
Shirt's first of the game. And England accumulating points everywhere.
It's a real shame. Thought there was going to be a bit of a comeback from France after how they started that second half. They've turned the gas on a little bit more and just run away with it. It's a nice little scrap on the ground ball. Mackenzie Morland coming up with another face-off win there. It's not the prettiest, but great little pass.
Walking it in, Bickerton somehow didn't finish. Shetodal is on it. They look for the clear from Danny Gratton. This was a 10-3 game late third quarter, and France had a man up, and then a previous chance before that with 2 good looks to try to cut it to 10-4 with a lot of time left. 10-4 with 17 minutes to go. But England with 9 different goal scorers in this game, and still with 5 minutes left. Lucas Sharink into the stick of Nick DiCaprio. And England can spread the field again and put on the finishing touches of this one before they go watch the Israel-Latvia game. Should it be Latvia, it will be the second meeting. Swung outside for Alex Russell. Russell rolls back. In the crease is called to take away another England goal. Richer had stopped playing, so he knew the whistle had already blown. 14-3.
Just discussing something here.
Well, now a second official coming over. They're ruling that a French player pushed the English attackman into the crease.
Well, Alex Russell might feel a little bit hard done by there then because he'd worked his shot well. But he's got the ball back and he's got the quality to definitely create another one if he wants to. Good work from the officials though, just talking it through and making sure that the right decision was made.
Roper swings, Watson. That's a very good look on the curl cut. No, there is backup for England. This one started a few minutes later as they worked on the field behind. Players, I think, have made the adjustments. We've seen less slippage than we had in the first half. And we hope that will continue as it gets hotter during the day. And for the remaining games on these two grass fields, fields 2 and fields 3, we're here on 3. Overhand rip, Alex Russell from Roper.
Yeah, we're just talking about how unfortunate it was that his last goal got taken off him. But he's right at the wrong, and it's a great finish after, again, really patient offence from England and some really good ball movement.
4 goals to now surpass Loveland's total for Alex Russell. And Tom Roper with 1 and 1.
Alex Russell, he's a big game player. I'm sure we'll see him come alive a lot more in the later stages of this tournament. He, of course, scored 9 goals in the Northern Flags final for his club Poynton when they came out victorious earlier this year. So he's definitely got a few goals in him.
Daniel Madeley face-off win. And Madeley takes the quick bouncer, and Quinton Richer has it. Under 3 minutes to go. And England has had the ball for about the last 7 minutes to break this one fully open and put it on ice. They scored 5 more in the fourth. After this fourth quarter started with a man down for England. And this fourth quarter dramatically changed with 2 missed chances late by France in the third quarter, including one on a man up in the final seconds. They look to feed James Barlow, just inches off on the connection from Justin Rosenberg. Rosenberg attempts the face dodge off to Barlow, his college teammate at the University of Vermont, and Barlow then cannot take it across the goal mouth and ends up turning it over to Tom Hallam. Hallam searches, Grady Jackson fail, and we've got a pole goal.
And it's a fantastic one at that. It was pole to pole, and you see what it means to him. I think that's his first goal in an England shirt. And what a one to have under your resume, right in the top corner. The assist from Thomas Hallam.
Pole to pole, Grady Jackson fail running the field. As soon as he caught it, he had his mind made up. Jackson Fail also played in the U.S. at Lake Erie and Western Pennsylvania, but a native of England. That was about the last thing that England was missing in this game. Grady, also from the hometown of Manchester and Wellington High School, and spent time also at Howard Community College, which is in Maryland. Grady goes way back. Was the U19 Senior Defenseman of the Year, and he was with England going back to U12s. And the youngest level of lacrosse that England had just established a under-12 team. Overhand shot is blocked. And England wants to put the clamps on this one here at 16-3. Final seconds of this one under a minute, and Rosenberg shows his athleticism, goes to a jump shot rip.
Yeah, fantastic finish. He's just driven from behind goal, turned the corner well, and as you say, leaping into the air for that finish. Got quite a lot of height on the jump, so his legs look to be fairly fresh, which they'll be relieved for going into the playoff games tomorrow.
That ends a 6-goal run of the fourth quarter for England. Justin Rosenberg's second of the game. And one of the top athletes in this tournament if we were to vote on that, I think he would get a lot of nominations and perhaps win our personal vote.
Certainly. I know you brought it up earlier, but the clear he had yesterday, he sort of leapt over 2 people and swim dodge moves and ran past a few more. Certainly is a bit of a freak athlete, and he showed it there.
And the question for France here, Fraser, is going to be the health of Gabriel Fury. Can they get him back tomorrow against the loser of Israel-Latvia?
Yeah, it'll certainly be a big focus for them and the support team they've got.
Less than 24 hours if it's an ankle injury. You just never know. Loveland here. Throws backside, and they get another soaring finish. Bickerton makes the catch, and sort of diving towards the pool, 17-4.
He loves a highlight reel, does Drew Bickerton, and he's got another great one there. It's a nice little pass through, and he's just saw the space, dive in, and great little finish to that back post.
Bickerton may end up with the first and last goals of this game. Edward Loveland adds his first assist, 3-1, to complete perhaps his best overall performance individually for a young man that primarily is on the second midfield, but we have seen the depth chart labeling doesn't mean a whole lot for England.
Certainly.
And Sam Patterson can roll out a true 11 to 12 players on offense, and there isn't a drop-off of any. Madeley a face-off win, and Madeley one more. He's checked from behind by long pole matey Matt Hill, another Vermont product, following the footsteps of Rosenberg and James Barlow. Outside look, and one more.
Yeah.
Well, William Shirt drills the shot.
Yeah, you can hear on the far side Mike Bartlett just counting down how long's left. The attacking coordinator for England, he encouraged his team to push it, and they did. Great goal there for Will Shirt. That's his second of the day.
That one from the restraining line, and England getting everybody truly involved. And that's 10 different goal scores today for England. That might be the number perhaps most satisfies Sam Patterson. What to you might satisfy the English head coach the most?
I think it's how they've played as a unit back there. Obviously, France have had a few great goals, but that first half, they couldn't get anything ticking. It speaks testament to how well they communicate and how well they work together. And as they play tougher opponents, that's definitely going to be a factor that could swing a game.
18-4, the 2-seed England thoroughly takes care of the 7-seed France and our first playoff quarterfinal of the day. France will now go into the losers portion of the bracket. They try to put themselves in the position to play for the 7th spot and the final spot towards the World Championships to be played in Japan in 2 years, while England has officially clinched a spot in Japan by virtue of this win. They are in the semifinals. They'll await the winner between Israel and Latvia, but England will definitely be in Japan in 2 years. 18-4 is our final. Alex Russell, 4 goals, led the way. Edward Loveland, 3-1. 2 goals and 2 assists for Drew Bickerton. William Shirt with 2. Justin Rosenberg, 2 of the 4 goals to lead France, who will also await the loser between Israel and Latvia. That'll do it for us on this broadcast. Thank you for watching our coverage on Lax TV and World Lacrosse TV from my partner, Fraser Hunter. My name is Ralph Bednarczyk. A real pleasure. Thank you so much for watching the 2025 Men's European Lacrosse Championships from Wroclaw, Poland.
I'm joined here on the sidelines by number 55 of France, Jack Snyder, after their game with Team England. Jack, tough game, didn't go the way you wanted, but we know you still have an opportunity to play into that top 7. What's it going to be like for you guys the next few days?
Well, going in, our goal is always to win the next game. This game's over, flush it, focus on the next one.
Awesome, short and sweet. Now, what's this whole experience been like playing under your older brother? That's got to be special as you guys are trying to sort of raise the level of French lacrosse here.
Yeah, well, we've done a few things since last Worlds. We've just tried to get people more focused in the off season. So when we come, we're ready. I think that showed today. A lot of guys were fighting to the very end. And yeah, playing for my brother is great. It's his first time coaching an international tournament. So to see him grow and grow with him has been awesome.
Awesome. One more time, Jack Snyder here from Team France. Next up, Summer Cisco with an interview from Team England.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm here with Ed Loveland, number 10 from England after a big win over France. Ed, you guys had the day off yesterday, came out strong, hat trick today, 9-0 at half. How'd you guys prepare for this to come out so strong?
Yeah, it was nice to have a day off yesterday. Obviously, a lot of us have the family out here, so spend some time with them. And then once we found out we were playing France today, watch the film and get ready for the scout. Obviously, staying in the same hotel as France, so have to be careful they're not listening in. But yeah, nice day of rest and recovery, and yeah, hanging out with the family.
You had 10 goal scorers today, so you spread the wealth a lot. How do you keep this balance, and how do you prepare for that?
It's just the depth we've got in the squad. 10 different goal scorers. That's attackers, midfielders, even some Poles getting in on the action. It just shows what a strong group we've got, and we're not relying on one or two people. It's the whole depth chart is really strong.
Thank you. That is Ed Lovely, number 10 from England, after a big win over France at the European Men's Lacrosse Championships. Ed, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really, really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick.
Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive. Growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport. Governed globally by World Lacrosse.